Hello, ladies and gents. Miss Smith again. Today I'm going to walk through some daily habits for our virtual learning. This video is a bit longer, so if you feel you are receiving a technology overload, feel free to pause the video and come back to it later. So I'm starting at our classroom website. I'm scrolling down. So I'm going to click on Miss Smith's Sizzling Second Graders. Once I have clicked on that, it will bring up that classroom because remember, we have already gone through the process of joining each class. I'm going to click on this button, which takes me to the main menu. I'm going to click on classes, and you can see, again, I'm using my husband's account, but you can see that I have the 11 classes that I've signed up for, that I'm enrolled in. He has a few additional at the bottom because he's also a teacher. But yours should have the 11 classes that you signed up for. Now, just a piece of information, you can move these around. So if you want to move sign language to the bottom and you want to move math to the top, your personal preference, either way is fine. I personally find it easier to put my classes in order of when I will be going to them. And so that's how I've arranged my page, but feel free to do what you prefer on yours. Each day you will need to get into the habit of going to each individual class. So you'll actually have to click on it, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to walk you through that process. So morning work happens to be the first classroom here, so I'm going to take my first classroom and I'm going to walk all the way across. So morning work first. So I click on it and it brings up my stream. I do not need to just go to my stream. I need to go ahead and click over to classwork. This will show me any resources I have for the class. This will show me any assignments that I have. So you'll notice the difference between this icon and this icon. This denotes that it's a material, so it's something that we might be using as a resource to help us learn. This denotes that it's actually an assignment and something that you'll have to actually click on and complete and turn in. Just to show you these couple of resources, if I click on it, it will automatically bring up a piece of information, maybe a set of instructions to go along with it. This says open the link and then click present in the upper right hand corner to access all the tools. So if I click on this link and I follow those directions, I will click on the present button, and then it will allow me to click on any of these tools in this board. So it's actually an interactive slide. And so these are different manipulatives that we'll be using for our Google Classroom. Then you'll see this as text to speech. If your student has trouble reading something on an assignment, this is a really neat document. And I've actually put these resources on several of the different Google Classrooms, so they'll be readily available for you. But this actually allows you to copy and paste whatever text you would like read into the box on this site, and this site will actually read it aloud to you. You just have to make sure your volume is turned on. So that's a text-to-speech site. Now, if I scroll down, I see that I have something that is due tomorrow. It's also a difference between a material and a resource, or a resource and an actual assignment. These resources tell when they're posted, but this assignment actually says when it's due. So I have something that's due tomorrow, so I'm going to click on it. And if I scroll down, again, I see my instructions. It says to please answer each question. Be sure to use complete sentences. So I'm going to click on it. It will bring it up. This says it's a morning check-in. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know how you are doing today. I can't wait to read your responses. So if I scroll down, it asks my first and last name. I'm going to pretend to be my husband again. Then it has the date for today, how you're feeling today, what's something fun that you did yesterday. I went fishing at the lake. Remember my capital and my period. What would you like to tell me? My favorite book is Freckle Juice. capital period, and notice how I've capitalized the first letters in my title. And then a really important thing is when you finish an assignment, you'll have to either submit it or turn it in. In this case, this is the submit button, so I need to click on that. And it has submitted it. I can close it out. And when I close it out, when I go back to my Google Classroom, you can see that it says now turned in. You'll notice how it took just a little bit of time for it to update. Sometimes Google Classroom, you'll run into that a little bit with Google Classroom, but you can see, I can click on it again and it shows that it is actually turned in. So I have to make sure that I click on my classwork tab to actually see what assignments I have due. And you can see that's the only one that was due in this classroom. So I finished my morning work class, but now I need to go back to the main menu. I need to click on classes. So I've done my morning work, and you can see now that I've completed that assignment. And so now there's nothing showing right here. Now I'm going to click on my announcement page. So again, don't rely on the stream. Go to classwork. And I can see that I've got quite a few things in here. I've got some resources. So again, I have that text-to-speech resource that I had in my previous class. I have a sight word list. I have a supply list, a parent letter, a figure me out activity. You'll notice that all of these that I've mentioned so far are materials. So these are all pieces of information that you'll probably want to look at and you'll want to take time to read, but it's nothing that's actually something you have to complete on Google Classroom and turn in. This one is different. You can see that it's actually an assignment and it shows the due date of September 1st. I'm not going to go through and fill it out now, but I do want to show you that it says to please complete and turn in. And even though we are beginning virtually, I still want to have access to this information. I'll bring it up for you to see. You can see that it has your child's name, some allergies, special medication, phone number, email address. Some of those things I know I already have, but I would really like to have them in this document. Whenever I complete this turn in button will actually turn a different color and I'll be able to turn it in. But again, since I'm not actually completing it right now, I'm not going to do that. So I've checked everything here. I don't have anything that's actually due. So again, I'm going to go back to my main menu, my classes page. I'm going to do the same thing for math, but I notice in math that it already shows on the front that there's something that's due tomorrow. So I'm going to click on it. Again, not the stream, but go to the classwork. I have all of these resources, text-to-speech. These are some more math tools that we'll be using. Again, that M&M board with the manipulatives. This is something that is an actual assignment that's due tomorrow. So I'm going to click on it, scroll down, read my instructions. This is please open with Kami, answer all questions and turn in. So I know that if you got a district device, Kami is already installed on the device, so you don't have to worry about it. But if you're using your own device, do know that you will have to install Kami, and I have included the instructions on my Google Classroom website page to follow to get that done. So if I click on it, it will bring it up, and I've got this little tab at the top that says open with. Well, my instructions told me to open with Kami, so I'm going to open with, and it says annotate with Kami. So it'll take just a second for it to come up. Okay. So authorize Google Drive. I'm going to click on that. You may have to do this the first time that you bring it up. You may not have to. So it brings up the assignment, and so I'm going to actually use Kami to help me complete the assignment and actually type into it. So I'm actually going to click on text box. There are all kinds of tools all to the side, and I would recommend playing around with them a little bit. You know, it'll be something that we'll all have to get used to, me included. But I'm going to make my font size 12, I believe. I'm going to keep my color, I'll go with green. So I'm going to change to green, and so I'm going to include my text box. I may have to make it a little bit larger, And so I'm going to type in my husband's name. Then I'm going to do another text box. And we'll do our date. And then I'm going to go down through here and I'm going to include my text box for each one, and I'm going to type in my answers. So like I said, it'll take a little while to get used to it. But this will be something that we will use quite often to answer questions within our virtual classroom. So as you can see, I have completed my assignment. I've answered all of my questions. So now I'm ready to actually turn in my assignment. So I'm going to click on Turn In. I'm not going to click this second Turn In button because we have the free version, not the paid version. And so because of that, we're restricted. And so we have to do it in a bit of a different way. So after you've clicked the first Turn In button, you will go down under Google Drive and you'll click Save Now. So it's saving. Okay, so it has saved, and so I'm going to close it out and go back. So on this page, as a student, I would want to make sure that I had actually completed everything just as a final double check before I turn it in. So if I click on this, when you bring it up, I'm sure you're like, oh my goodness, it shows that I haven't done anything. But if you will simply click back on Open With, Annotate with Kami, and it will bring it up as your completed document. And you can just double check again. And so then you'll go back and you'll actually click Turn In. It will ask if you want to submit it, turn in. And so you have turned in this assignment. So if you go back to your math classwork, you can see again that it shows that it has been turned in. Okay, so you have completed all of your assignments for this math class. So again, we go back to classes, and our next class in line is social studies. So I'll click on this. Remember, not the stream, but the classwork. Again, we just have resources here. There are not any assignments due. So I'll go back here, go to classes. I'll click on science, not stream, but again, classwork. Again, there are resources here, but nothing is due. So I'll go back to this tab, classes, sign language. Sign language will not be a class that we will have a lot of assignments in. This is almost going to be like an additional Fun Friday activity. You can see that there are no due dates. There are some resources here if you're just interested in learning. There are different videos that you can watch to learn some different letters and words. Again, go back to the class page, cursive handwriting. Again, not the stream, but the classwork. There's nothing assigned at this time. So again, go back to classes, go to spelling, not the stream, but the classwork. There is a text-to-speech, again, that resource that I showed you earlier. There is a short A list that is already posted. This will actually be our first spelling list. There's nothing assigned in it, but again, it's posted as a material. There will be spelling assignments. At this time, there are not, but if you wanted to go ahead and look at these words and study them a little bit, feel free to do that. You're more than welcome to do that. Then go back to our classes page. Next is literacy. Again, not the stream, but the classwork. There is a text-to-speech document. There's also an autobiographical poem. It does not have a due date. This will be something that we will be completing in the future, but there is no due date at this time. So I've gone through all tabs except for the Sizzling Second Graders and Fun Friday. These two classrooms will not have assignments on them. These are extra resources. This is a brag page, and this is a list of activities that students may choose to do on Fridays. That has taken us through all of our Google Classrooms. Hopefully it's not overload, and